The next option is Jalen Brunson / Knicks. To which I would wonder, I think the Knicks had a great weekend. They talked their superstar player into leaving over $100 million on the table.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jalen Brunson had a great weekend.
Oh, I think he did because perception-wise, he's a hero.
Perception-wise, he is. However, the cost of this brief blip of public generosity is over $100 million.
It was 113 to be exact. But is he going to eventually get the money? He's just not getting the money now.
Maybe.
Okay. 27 years of age, and he could have gotten a larger bag, as they like to say.
It's costing him $37 million a year. Because he's eligible. This is the understanding that, as far as I think we could tell, because I'm not great with contracts, is he can possibly recoup this money after year 3. So in year 4 or 5, say, that he would be up for a new deal. There's a year 4 player option that then he could trigger that would then basically allow him or give him the ability to recoup that $113 million. But he is gambling it over the next 3 years.
But he does get into the next contract a year earlier as well.
Yes.
So,
assuming there's nothing catastrophic that happens in the next 3 years, I think that's the gamble.
Well, he's coming off an injury, surgery, not going to be able to play on the Olympic team because of that. But he had a great postseason. Perception-wise, boy, this is big. It's big.
Knicks fans are essentially putting up the statue again already.
Yes. Do the Knicks have any statues?
They have money to spend on one now.
But I don't think they have any statues. I think they just have jerseys that they retire. But if you were going to put up a statue, well, if you're putting up a statue, you got a few other names to put up. But Jalen Brunson gave you that feel-good story, and the Knicks usually don't have a feel-good story. But what he did, it's still generational wealth. While they said, he's, kind of forfeiting generational wealth while making generational wealth on the same day. But I think if you're going to, he said he was taking inspiration from Derek Jeter, Tom Brady, and Patrick Mahomes, that they took less to be able to ensure that you're still able to keep the core. They went out and got Mikal Bridges, re-signing OG Anunoby. So they're doing some really good things in keeping that core together, the Nova Knicks. If I'm giving up that kind of money, do I have any say in what you're doing with my money? Usually doesn't happen that way. But if I'm Jalen Brunson, at age 27, do they say, Jalen, we were thinking of spending $40 million of your money on this guy. What do you think? It'd be kind of cool if he was like, I don't know. Can we get him for $37 million? Let him be sort of player GM here.
That's when he learns the lesson of them saying, it's not your money, it's our money. Because, see, we didn't give it to you, so that's our money still. See, that's how that works.
It's only yours if we give it to you.
So it's not as, got it.
Because Brady didn't get a chance to do that.
No.
Patrick Mahomes, I don't think, got a chance to do that. I don't think Derek Jeter as well. But that's where you have to have full trust in the front office that they're going to do the right thing. Because I always go back to the Cleveland Browns always had draft picks. And I said, it doesn't matter if you don't know how to draft. And they didn't know how to draft, but they always had a lot of draft picks. Meanwhile, Baltimore would have 2 draft picks, and they would always find a Hall of Famer in those 2 draft picks. It's who's drafting. But I think what the Knicks are building on is pretty special. And I think what we saw with the postseason and now the offseason, they're on a pretty good run. And it's been a long time. When's the last time we were really looking at the Knicks as competitors? Is it you go back to Carmelo days? I mean, and they're likable as well, that's been a while since we've looked at a Knicks team. I mean, we had, Linsanity, and you liked that story. Doesn't mean you like the Knicks. Yeah, Marv.
The Knicks have always been likable. People just hated the owner. There really hasn't been a Knicks team, maybe depending on how you like to play basketball, people didn't like the Ewing Oakley Knicks, but the past 20 years, what Knicks team's been unlikable?
Well,
Dolan's been unlikable.
Yeah, but I don't know if you like the Knicks.
You're just indifferent towards them.
Yeah, you just didn't not like them. You didn't go like this visceral reaction. I hate the Knicks. Now it's like you can look at that team and go, man, they're fun to watch. And Jalen Brunson, good for him. What he's done, you're in Dallas and all of a sudden, oh, yeah, that's the guy who's with Luka. And then all of a sudden it's like, re-sign him. No, we're going to move on from him. And then he goes to the Knicks and he becomes a legitimate star. So I think good for him, good for the Knicks, and hopefully they can capitalize on this. Yes, Paul?
Yeah, one thing I learned about in this whole story is that there's aprons of the salary cap. I had never heard the phrase before, aprons. So Brunson taking less money now keeps the Knicks out of the second apron level, which I guess is bad territory. You don't want to go second apron in. First apron is fine. It's a punitive threshold that severely limits a team's ability to make trades, sign players, and use draft picks. But if you're in New York the past few days, all you know is like the kid from the Knicks just left $100 million on the table. That's the perception.
Yes. But he did. I think that's the reality of it, but he can still recoup I don't think anybody looked at Tom Brady and goes, man, he left all that money on the table. He'll never get that back. Or Patrick Mahomes. They're eventually going to get that money. You know what gets you paid? Winning. Derek Jeter, winning. Mahomes, winning. Brady, winning. That's when you get paid. Because then it's more than just, this is your salary here. Winning gets you paid.